Who am I?
Richard Kazimer, media veteran.
Why I got in radio is because I'm good with a knife.
Contributor in Perth, Australia.
Our friend Richard Kazimer in the United States.
How are you guys enjoying the 19th century? Is that working out for you? How can you say, I'm not making fun of you as a race, I'm making fun of you as black performers?
I think as a country, Americans are as patriotic as the most rabid UK football hooligan.
Who am I?
Richard S. Kazimer.
Yes, indeed. Richard.
Hey, brother, how are you?
I'm not doing too badly.
I was tempted to call in earlier with my own media horror stories of news items gone bad.
We don't do too many of those, Richard, because, and Richard works in the media in the US. As you well know, these things tend to go horribly wrong when they go wrong.
Another time, another show. I just wanted to commend you and Alice for talking about adoption. It's a very important issue and one that needs to be recognized as often as possible. I am a successful adoptive parent myself. I adopted my daughter at birth 15 years ago, very successful adoption, to the point where the adoption agency that we had gone through recommended my wife at the time and I start our own business to help other couples who were looking to adopt. We did what is called an open adoption here in the United States. I'm not sure if you have that in Australia, but occasionally you'll read in the classified ad sections of newspapers, it'll say, he's a doctor, she's a lawyer looking to adopt your healthy white infant. People actually solicit birth mothers who are looking to...
No, you can't do that here.
You can't do that there?
No, never could. It's very strictly controlled.
But it is done here in the United States.
Yep.
And justifiably so, it should be controlled. And not all newspapers or media outlets here in the U.S. will allow that. Not all states allow open adoption. But what we did is that we did market research on all the states that allowed that. And because we were both from media, myself being an award-winning advertising copywriter, now this may sound callous, but until you get that child in your hand, what you're doing is you're soliciting for a MacGuffin, to use a Hitchcockian term. That means that it may as well be a boat, it may as well be a refrigerator, but it's not a child until you get it. And you have to weed through the people who will answer those types of ads specifically for money. And we were fortunate enough to get a birth mother.
Yeah, I catch the point that you're making there, because when you first said that, I thought, oh, this is a bit hard, but then I now catch where you're coming from with that, Richard, and I see what you're saying, yeah.
There are specific laws in the United States where birth mothers you cannot sell a baby, nor can you buy a child. And we've had people come to us and say, oh, you adopted the child, how much did it cost? Well, it's not about the cost. We didn't buy the child. We're not renting the child. The difference between what it is that we did and what has happened here in the United States with open adoption is that the primary concern is about the birth mother, not about the couple who is adopting the child. And that's what we did. That's why we were so successful, is that we placed the birth mother's concern tantamount. That was primary, that this is probably the most difficult situation that this woman will ever go through in her life, to give up that child. And I looked at it from that perspective, and it actually turned into a service that helped adopting parents put that whole thing aside. We wrote ads for folks. I don't run the business anymore. It has become very successful connecting birth mothers with adopting parents. Adoption is not passé here, and also you don't hear about orphanages here in the United States anymore. There are situations where babies are left on doorsteps, usually at police stations and hospitals. There are foster parenting, and adoption is very open here, very productive, very supportive here in the United States.
Yeah, what I must do is compare the two, because I can see quite clearly that there are differences and the advantages and disadvantages. I think because of a social mindset is what has created the out-of-favour thing with adoption here. And I think probably also the social welfare system here in Australia is a lot more generous than it is in the United States, which probably also means that people are financially able to keep children, especially in sole parent situations, whereas they wouldn't be in the United States simply because the social welfare system doesn't accommodate it. Richard, I have to leave it there, but thanks very much.